Hello Star Wars fans. My last video covered how Disney had the perfect situation to build more hype for Disney Star Wars, atop Star Wars nostalgia. Before I move on to the true topic for this video, I should also mention that another reason The Force Awakens made $2 billion at the box office was the J.J. Abrams hiring. He was a vocal Star Wars fan and had directed the newest Star Trek movie in 2009, and it had seemed more Star Wars-esque than Star Trek. So when he got hired to direct Episode 7, fans thought the future of Star Wars was in good hands. It was another factor in why The Force Awakens had a $2 billion box office opening. Yet he didn't make my previous video due to the content being about why people were hyped about Disney Star Wars, not why The Force Awakens was so hyped. So J.J. Abrams as director, plus the fact that any Star Wars fan would have seen a Star Wars movie on the big screen, no matter who produced it, were additional factors for the huge Episode 7 opening in 2015. Now on to the true topic for this video. How exactly did Disney Star Wars get perverted to the point of bombing in cinemas? Luckily, we have the advantage of hindsight. Disney, with its huge catalog of timeless classics, also has a huge catalog of flops and straight-to-video money grabs. Every movie Disney produces isn't a guaranteed good movie, and moviegoers are now more aware of the fact. And with how the company has ignored the virtue signaling and sexism rampant at Lucasfilm, the Star Wars fanbase is growing jaded with the Disney brand. And if the Star Wars fanbase isn't enthused in Star Wars, how is the general movie-going audience going to be interested as well? Next, Disney's money is being wasted. 3 out of 4 Disney Star Wars movies have suffered director problems and reshoots due to creative differences with Kathleen Kennedy. Troubling when each movie gets a budget of $200 to $250 million to start with, and another $100 million for marketing. Yet 70+% of the movies need to be reshot, adding another $100 million or more to the movie budget. Worse yet, Disney is spending hundreds of millions of dollars on damage control to pretend as if Star Wars is still the #1 movie franchise, and that fans are happy with the direction of the sequel trilogy and side stories. Money that wouldn't have been necessary if Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy hadn't tried to virtue signal and force the directors to add in virtual signaling to nearly finished movies. Bob Iger trusted in the power of the Star Wars franchise too much, to the point where he allowed an unqualified person to handle the $4 billion investment. As the CEO of a company worth over $100 billion, it's understandable that he couldn't possibly have his hand in every single project going on at Disney, and he has to delegate tasks to other people. His judgment in hiring Kathleen Kennedy has proven to be quite the terrible choice, and might be the reason behind why he plans to step down as Disney CEO in 2019. Moving on, Disney wasn't the reason for the success of the MCU, Kevin Feige was. And Kevin Feige isn't in charge of Lucasfilm. That's a problem when people expect the Disney Star Wars cinematic universe to be as equally good as the MCU, yet Disney doesn't understand how Kevin Feige pulled off a cinematic universe in the first place. Kevin seems passionate and invested in the MCU, yet Kathleen Kennedy had to hire a story group because she wasn't invested in Star Wars. That move revealed how little of a Star Wars fan she really was. People now understand that Kathleen Kennedy's success as a movie producer doesn't entail a great movie. It just entails that her name was used as marketing. Steven Spielberg has even said that she was terrible at her job, yet he and George Lucas didn't let her go because they felt kind of bad for her. Which means that her contributions to great films is negligible. And once she failed her way to becoming president of Lucasfilm, she decided that Star Wars was the perfect platform to push her feminist ideology. She focused on hiring amateur feminists for her company instead of hiring the best people for the job. Her story group as a whole has only written 2 TV episodes prior to being hired to Lucasfilm, yet that group can decide the direction of what was once the largest movie franchise. She is incompetent to the highest degree, and her losing the streaming rights for Star Wars right before the Disney streaming service comes online is undeniable proof. Worse yet, she refuses to take responsibility for her decisions, having gone into hiding after the backlash of Episode 8 and revealing that the Boba Fett movie was canceled through another person. She is a coward. We were excited at the possibility of new Star Wars movies after George Lucas said he wouldn't make any more, yet how the times change. The Star Wars franchise is shrinking further in scope through each Disney Star Wars movie, an almost impossible feat considering the premise that Star Wars takes place in a galaxy, a whole effing galaxy, where anything can happen, far, far away. So what is the current shape of Disney Star Wars in 2018? The true makeup of Disney Star Wars is failure. There is nothing good comprising Disney Star Wars in 2018. Nothing. It is rotten through and through, and the only thing sustaining the fans is the hope that things will get better after we speak with our wallets during Episode 9, which is over a year away. And it's going to be a long year, folks. If you've listened this far, maybe click the like button below, and I hope you go and check out some of my other videos. If you've listened this far, maybe click the like button below, and go check out some of my other videos. Thanks for listening, and
may the Force be with you.